Your Excellency, Secretary General Antonio Guterres, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, ladies and gentlemen, China highly commends and supports the Secretary General's initiative for convening this summit. Climate change is a common challenge to all countries. To jointly tackle this challenge and protect the planet we all call home will be a journey critical to the future and destiny of mankind. In tackling climate change, we must first be determined to win the fight. We must honor our commitments, follow through on the Paris Agreement and its implementation guidelines, and see to it that both this summit and the COP25 will produce positive outcomes that will inject fresh impetus into the post-2020 multilateral process. The withdrawal of certain parties will not shake the collective will of the international community, nor will it possibly reverse the historical trend of international cooperation. Second, be prepared to take sustained actions. We must ensure that our climate actions are mutually reinforcing with our socio-economic endeavors, realize a transformation toward green and low-carbon development, and enhance climate resilience in the process of accelerating development. We must mobilize stakeholders and resources across all sectors to scale up pre-2020 actions to avoid shifting responsibilities to the post-2020 process. Third, be committed to cooperation. We must uphold multilateralism, especially the principles of common but differentiated responsibilities, respect the need for development and the special conditions of developing countries, and help them build preparedness. Developed countries, on their part, need to take the lead in reducing emissions and honor their commitment of mobilizing $100 billion a year in climate finance by 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, as a responsible member of the international community, China honors its words and keeps taking actions on climate change. Well, guided by a new development philosophy, China is pursuing high-quality growth and following a path of green, low-carbon, and sustainable development. Last year, China's CO2 emissions per unit of GDP dropped by 45.8% from the 2005 level, overshooting the annual target. It is also a reduction of 5.26 billion tons of CO2 emissions. Also in 2018, its share of non-fossil fuel in primary energy consumption reached 14.2%, and the forest stock increased by 4.56 billion cubic meters from 2005. Since 2000, China has contributed to a quarter of the world's newly afforested land. Last year, China saw an increase of 1.25 million new energy vehicles, outnumbering many other countries in the world. China is also actively developing a national emissions trading market. China will faithfully fulfill our obligations under the UNFCCC and the Paris Agreement and realize as scheduled its nationally determined contribution targets submitted to the UNFCCC Secretariat. We'll continue to jointly build a green belt and road. Through the BRI International Green Development Coalition and other platforms, we are mobilizing stronger support for international cooperation against climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, co-leading the track of nature-based solutions, or NBS, China has been collaborating with many other countries and international organizations and have gained fruitful results in the following aspects. First, a deeper insight into the relations between man and nature. NBS advocates harmonious coexistence between man and nature and values ecological progress, thus fully leveraging the role of nature in enhancing the effectiveness of climate actions. Second, new measures for addressing climate change. We have proposed over 150 initiatives and set up a group of Friends for NBS mechanism to tap the mitigation potential of nature in order to cut CO2 emissions by 10 to 12 billion tons annually. Third, fresh support for the Sustainable Development Goals. We have compiled a list of over 30 case studies, including in forest carbon sink and biodiversity protection, to demonstrate how NBS can significantly promote coordinated economic, social, and environmental development, thus enabling better implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Ladies and gentlemen, long and difficult as the journey of tackling climate change may be, sustained actions will take us to the destination. By working together, we will build a clean and beautiful world where we will enjoy shared prosperity and a shared future. Thank you.